Meeting to order. It is the 9th day of September, 2024. It is 9 a.m. We are in the Commissioner's Courtroom in the Aransas County Courthouse. Please stand and join me in the invocation.
Please join me as I pray. Father, as always, we're thankful for the blessings of this day and for the rain that we've had. And Lord, we just pray that this next storm that's out there will pass to the east of us. And we just pray your hand of protection over this county. And as I was trying to search my heart as to what message you had for us today, I came across the scripture in Jeremiah 29:11 that says that I know the plan I have for you, declares the Lord, a plan to prosper you and not to harm you, a plan to give you hope and a future. And that's an awesome thought, to think that the God of the universe would care about the Hebrew nation in exile in Babylon, but he also cares about Aransas County. And he has a plan for our county, a plan to prosper us and not to harm us, a plan to give us hope and a future. And that's what these meetings are about by all our elected officials, is to give us hope for a future. So Lord, we just pray this morning that you'll speak to all of these commissioners and the judge as they make decisions that affect the future of this county. And it'll be a future to give us hope and for us to prosper. And we trust you, Lord, that you'll speak to them. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledges.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Casterline,
Here.
Commissioner Russo, here, Commissioner Dupnick,
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here, got a full court. This time, we have citizens to be heard. According to the clerk, nobody signed up. Nobody signed up online. All right. We'll move on to, actually, before we move on, I want to strike item number 11. We're still working on this, and I'll bring this to court at a later date. Move on to the consent agenda. Do you have a motion?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Got a motion and a second.
All right.
Commissioner Casterline, Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. No county reports, no county roads. Move on to section 10, item number 5.
Move to approve purchasing of interpretive signs for downtown anchor project. DPA authorizing the county judge to sign necessary documents. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Morning, Al.
Commissioners. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge. One of the signs was destroyed during Hurricane Harvey. The other one is a new sign that they're planning on, and they have the text available for you to look at the draft. A new sign. These signs would be put where the community parking lot is going to be built. They take about 6 weeks for production, so we need to get them ordered so that they'll be ready.
Oh, on that second sign, is it going to be a picture of the old courthouse? The old courthouse being the one that was over there and got
Demolished.
by
Yeah.
Harvey?
I think on your backup documents, it
Yeah.
had the pictures that were going to be put on there.
Well, it has a couple of pictures. It has a picture of the courthouse and then a picture of the courthouse with all the trees laying about.
Mhm.
And then it has a picture of what they call Mount Trashmore. Are all three of those pictures going on the sign?
Yes.
Okay, so the text that then accompanies those signs is all of that text?
Yes.
And where was that text created? Did that come from the Historical Commission or?
Pam Stranahan.
Okay. I'm in favor of the signs, but some of the text needs to be changed.
Okay.
So if we approve this, I'd like to approve it with the understanding that the text will be
revised?
Yes.
Okay.
What needs to be changed on it?
On the page that has Mount Trushmore, it shows the AC Emergency Operations Center recommended evacuation, therefore loss of life was minimal. A long-term recovery team was funded through grants to plan the recovery. The long-term recovery team was funded with, partially funded with grants from Sid Richardson and partially paid by Aransas County. And I think that that gives the wrong information. Because we were 650,000, I think, wasn't it? That we had paid for the long-term grant people under the impression that we were going to get that money paid back as grant administration, and that was incorrect. That's what I want to have changed.
So we'll do a revision on the text.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 6.
I move to approve the surplus of outdated law library books.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Good morning, Madam County Attorney.
Good morning. As we've discussed over the last couple of years, we moved our law library into a digital format, which is easier for a lot of people to use. If you've been into the waiting room of my office, you've seen the physical books that were purchased by the county in the past. When we moved to a digital format, we stopped paying to update those books every year. So they are now outdated. And since we are moving, I would like to surplus those books instead of moving them with us.
And do you have an idea of what you're going to do with them after you surplus them?
We've reached out to the library at the college in Corpus. Unfortunately, they don't want them because they are outdated. So we are looking into various options. If anyone has any ideas, I would welcome them because I really would not like to shred them as they are books, and that really hurts
Right.
my heart. So I would welcome any other ideas, but we do need to surplus them rather than move them from place to place.
Right. I just like to, I realize they're outdated, but it would still be nice if they could find a second career.
I agree. I'd hate to throw away books because they are beautiful. So if anyone has any other ideas that we could do with them, I would welcome those ideas.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Any other comments?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 7.
I move to approve a Locke County judge sign an annual agreement with the Texas Department of Transportation for the 2025 routine airport maintenance program known as RAMP, Grant M2516 RCKP, which reimburses 9% of the cost for eligible airport maintenance projects up to $100,000.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Good morning, Mr. Gear.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. This is just our routine airport maintenance program grant. We sign it every year. And last year, as you'll recall, it bumped us up to 90% on the reimbursement. It had been 50% since 1995. So it's a really good grant. We take really good advantage of it at our airport. Most of the GA airports in the state really don't know what it is or take advantage of it, but we always have traditionally. And TxDOT has noted that at the last conference, a conference 2 years ago I was at, they reminded me that we were one of only 2 airports in the state that have used RAMP grant every single year since its inception. So
Yeah.
Good for us.
Is it $100,000 one time, or can you have like 3 grants? It's $100,000.
it's $100,000 in reimbursement, but it's however we get there. So if it's
Oh.
$3,000 for light bulbs, then that gets us on our way.
And that 10% is paid out of your airport. budget.
Grants, I have a grants budget line item. Yes, sir.
So you pay and they reimburse.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 8.
Move to approve order number 019-2024, a new order of general election for the election to be held on November the 5th, 2024, for the purpose of electing county and precinct officers and providing notice of elections.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and we've got a second.
Now,
Morning.
Good morning.
when does early voting start? On the 5th?
November 5th. Oh, early voting, October
21.
21st. The election was originally ordered on August 5th using the Aransas County Public Library to use as an election day vote center, but due to the relocation of the county offices, we're unable to use the library, so we're going to use the Methodist Church. And the new location provides more room for voting and parking, so we're excited to get it.
I had a question. I was told that the Fulton Fire Department was not going to allow the county to use that. Has that changed?
No, we're still using the Fulton Fire Department on election day. We just are not going to use it for an early voting site. Just our office building is
Well,
going to be for early voting.
Okay, so the early voting was in question, not the regular election day.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. And just for information, the four polling locations on election day is Boys and Girls Club of Aransas County, which is a former GI Forum, the First United Methodist Church, Rockport Service Center, and the Fulton Fire Department. We'll move on to item number 8. I'm sorry, that was 8. Item number 9.
I move to approve pursuant to the Texas Local Government Code, section 292.0001, the Aransas County Commissioners Court finding necessary and designating the Aransas County Public Library Meeting Room Address 701 East Mimosa, Rockport, Texas, which is within the city limits of Aransas County, Texas, as Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 courtroom until further notice.
Second, yeah. That says the city limits of
Rockport. The city limits of Rockport
Oh,
within
Rockport,
Aransas
yeah.
County.
Yeah, Aransas County, Texas, yeah. City limits of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas.
Oh, okay. I didn't miss that. All right, got a motion in a second. And just note that it's city limits of Rockport in Aransas County. And this is, we have to designate the JP1 courtroom. It's going to be in the library.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 10.
I move to approve advertising requests for professional services to complete shoreline delineation survey and category 1A land survey from Go Mesa CMP PSM project Copano Cove Ranch acquisition project GLO contract number 24-099-005-E79.
I've got a motion. Second. I've got a second. Good morning, Ms. Cat.
Good morning.
So would you explain this in more detail about what will be done and why we are doing this?
Yes, ma'am. So the acquisition project for the Copano Cove, aka Bailey Ranch project, one of the deliverables that's required is a shoreline delineation survey as well as a category 1A land survey. These are specific types of surveys that will allow us to have a accurate benefit cost analysis completed for the property to delineate between the state-owned submerged water tract portion of the property and the actual land. And but yeah, that's
And this work will be paid with grant money?
yes, ma'am. It will be initially paid for by the county and then reimbursed through the General Land Office.
Any other questions?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 12.
Discuss amendment number 5 for the General Land Office Contract 20-065-098-C270. Extending the contract terms, revising performance statement, budget and benchmarks, and revise the general affirmations and revised non-exclusive list of applicable laws, rules, and regulations, and add revisions will result in no additional encumbrance on contract funds.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Jackie, can you explain?
Yes, we received this Amendment 5 we've been working on for over a year. Back in May, it started back in May of 2023. In August, I believe y'all passed or approved Amendment number 5, but in November rescinded it because upon GLO's recommendation, they wanted some revisions on it. This is the final copy of the amendment. We received it on like August 26th. And
From GLO.
from GLO, we received the amendment for the contract. And at that time, we told them that we would be putting it on the agenda for today for approval. They came back and informed us that the contract expired on the 31st of August and that we had to have this signed or we would lose all funding, which is $53 million. And so at that time, I just asked the judge to go ahead and sign the contract so we save the $53 million, but also to make sure that we met the requirements. This amendment extends the contract through December 31 of 24, as well as adds the additional scope at Rattlesnake where they had damaged the roads. So we are eligible now to receive the funding reimbursements for those funds. So basically, we just wanted to inform you what the judge had done and had signed this.
So it ends at the end of the year?
Yes, sir. Now it will go through the end of the year.
And this 53 million, basically, when you look at the paperwork, it covers every project we have going on in the county.
Most of them.
All of the streets and drainage projects, it's actually for the community building also. And we had a radio tower. There's some other projects that were in it. Yes.
Any other questions? Comments?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0.
And I'm sorry, but I stand corrected. This thing goes through February 28th of 25. I didn't look at my notes here.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that sounded.
Yeah. Item number 13.
I move to approve the DLF 2 Incorporated's change order number 007 for the Aransas County Community Building / Plaza / Parking Lot General Land Office Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Contract number 20-065-098-C270, adding 107 days for the additional proposed work, including installation of fiber optic conduit. The new project substantial completion date will be December 31st, 2024.
Good morning, Judge and
I've got
Commissioners.
a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, got a second.
Okay. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. So this is the community building. You guys had approved it previously. We went back. The city of Rockport had to also contract with DLF because it will be going on to also their property. It connects all really the 4 buildings together. I believe it starts at the jail or the radio tower. So this is in order for DLF was the contractor who is going to be doing all of the work for the city and the county to do the project. So the city council went ahead and approved it last Tuesday, I believe it was, for DLF, for them to contract with them. So they can pay them they can pay them directly instead of coming through the county because it is a grant funded project. So it was a little more convoluted with everything.
So when we approved the extension, that was what it would have been just to take care of our buildings, but now because it has to go through the city hall and because I think the city hall's slightly behind our building, that's why there are more days that have to be added.
Right,
Okay. And we're kind of at the end of that train.
right.
Okay, thank you.
And if we don't approve this, what are we leaving on the table or?
Well, it's part of the $53 million.
Of that,
I have asked GrantWorks, I believe Kayla with GrantWorks is on. If you have any questions, she can probably answer some of that.
Yes, I'm on the call if y'all can hear me.
Yes, good morning, Kayla.
Good morning.
If we don't approve this time extension, what are we leaving on the table?
If we don't approve this, what we are leaving on the table is any work that's continued on the community building may not be paid out by the GLO until we do approve a change order for time extension. Their individual construction contract is set to end on September 15th of this year. And any work that is done after that may not be funded if we don't have another change order to extend their construction contract completion time. That's going to be because any work done after that is considered outside of the contract if we don't have a change order for the time extension. So we're going to be, the county would be liable for any out-of-pocket costs that would in turn for that, however much the community building will cost after that. And no pay apps will be processed. The GLO will not be there to make sure that the payrolls are correct, that the work's being completed correctly. There's a lot of issues that will come up. It will also put the county in a bad place for the other project sites because the county would be in violation of their full state contract. Although it's a state contract, it relies on federal regulations because the GLO receives these funds from HUD, the federal agency. So if we do not complete each project site with federal regulation compliance, then it jeopardizes all of the other project sites and the grant as a whole.
So we're talking like $53 million. Okay,
Correct. Yes, sir.
thank you. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate it. Commissioner, do you have anything else? Questions?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0.
Thank
Item
you.
number 14.
I move to approve change order number 5 of construction contract for Southeast Aransas County drainage improvements in the county's general land office, community development block grant disaster relief contract number 20-065-098-C270. Brizo Construction LLC requested an increase to the contract time of an additional 20 days.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Carol.
This change order extends the contract time through the end of August.
So 8/31/24 is the new end date. Okay.
As of change order 5, yes, ma'am, but I'll be bringing change order 6 shortly.
We'll just deal with this.
Any questions for Darren? It's first time
Commissioner-
up here.
Oh, sorry. Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 15.
Move to approve change order number 6, the construction contract for Southeast Aransas County drainage improvements in the county's general land office, community development block grant disaster relief. Contract number 20-065-098-C270. Brizo Construction LLC requested an increase in the contract amount of $40,597, an increase in time, an additional 60 days.
So this change order,
Motion, I need a second.
I'll second it.
All right, got a second.
sorry, this change order adds additional work to the project and extends the contract out till the end of October.
What type of additional work for you?
Appears to be driveway work, mainly additional driveways.
So now the new end date will be 10/31,
Yes, ma'am.
2024. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 16. Thank you, Darryl.
The Aransas County Indigent Health Care Report, August 2024.
I'll second that.
Morning.
Morning, Madam
Morning.
Treasurer.
So the August report is actually the last month of its fiscal year, which coincides with the reporting to the state. Total spent for the whole fiscal year is $450,799, which was 35% of what we had budgeted, or 2.84% of our gross revenue tax levy, which what is budgeted is 8%. So
And when we use real transit, down at the bottom on the second page, that is just for indigent patients, right?
right.
Okay.
So all of those rides that we set up are set like a change. We do a change order, so they're only on our approved indigent people.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Alma.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 17.
Move to approve the 2023-2024 end of year report for Aransas County Indigent Healthcare Program.
Second.
So this is just the recap of the year for with the same numbers that we have to send to the state. Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 18.
Move to approve the July 2024 Treasurer's Report. I'll second
I'll
that.
second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Any questions on any of the numbers?
No, thanks.
Nope.
Commissioner Cheney, thank you.
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 19.
I move to approve the proposed revision to Aransas County's Employee Handbook Policy 2A-14, Salary Grievances, so that Aransas County's policy on salary grievances more closely follows the language of Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 152, Subchapter B.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. If so, you want to hit on this?
All right, yes. I wasn't sure if Desiree was going to say something, or I will. So at some point in time, the county salary grievance policy was amended to come away from what the Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 152, Subchapter B states. And I am recommending that we go back to what the state recommends. The change is, if after the hearing, 6 or more members vote to recommend an increase in the officer's salary or personal expenses, the committee shall submit its recommendation to the Commissioners Court in writing. If 6 to 8 members vote to recommend the increase, the Commissioners Court shall consider the recommendation at its next meeting. If 9 members vote to recommend the increase and sign the recommendation, the Commissioners Court shall include the increase in the budget before the budget is filed and the increase takes effect in the next budget year. Like I mentioned, at some point in time, there were 2 critical clauses taken out of the handbook policy. So what the state was saying, there's a committee of 10 members, and you can either appoint from the public, and I believe the judge is the one who chairs it, but the judge has no vote. Or you can have the judge be the chair, who still has no vote, and then the sheriff, the county tax assessor collector, the county treasurer, the county clerk, the district clerk, and the county attorney or the criminal district attorney make up the elected officials who are on there. And then you have members of the public drawn to provide up to the 9 voting members. And as you remember, sometime last month, we had pulled several names to supply names from the public and the voting record to support that. So what our policy had done was eliminate the part that says if 6 to 8 members vote to recommend the increase, the Commissioners Court shall consider the recommendation at its next meeting. That business about the Commissioners Court being able to consider the recommendation was pulled from our policy. And the part that the state says, if 9 members vote to recommend the increase and sign the recommendation, the Commissioners Court shall include the increase in the budget. That part was also pulled. If 9 members vote to recommend the increase and sign the recommendation. So what the policy was doing was, instead of giving the Commissioners Court some flexibility, if 6 to 8 members of the Salary Grievance Committee recommended, and they could assess that decision and make a final decision going forward on the budget, it just totally removed the Commissioners Court authority. So we are taking it back to what the state recommends, and we are saying if 6 to 8 members vote to recommend, the Commissioners Court will consider that. And if they agree with it, they'll put it in the next budget. However, if there is a unanimous decision of the 9 members, which again will not include the judge, then that decision comes to the court and it goes into effect immediately. So what we had was a Salary Grievance Committee that met, and they had, I believe, 6 to 8 members who agreed on the increase, but it was not unanimous. But because our policy had been changed, that left the Commissioners Court with no available option other than to take a less than unanimous decision from the Salary Grievance Committee.
Commissioner Russo, I think you said, takes effect immediately. It actually takes effect next budget.
Oh, right. It would. Thank you for the correction.
Do you want to, did you want to talk? You mentioned you did.
Yes, I had signed up on the sheet, but.
I didn't get it.
Well, it didn't get to the county clerk, apparently.
No worries. Just wanted some additional clarification for that, Commissioner Russo. When they met to discuss that change of the policy, it was with the concept of a 2/3 vote forcing the issue for the Commissioners Court. A 2/3 vote or greater forcing the issue for the Commissioners Court. Why it didn't stipulate 9 is because at 9 votes, state law takes over. I believe it was done, was not the one that voted on it, but I believe it was done because we had a prior Salary Grievance Committee meet where one of the members of the committee was related to the party filing the grievance and therefore could not vote, thus barring them from reaching the unanimous vote.
Well, the code allows that person to withdraw and have another citizen replaced.
Not if it's a county official. At least that's my understanding of the code and what I've read. Maybe the county attorney can chime in on it.
When I read it, that my perception was that any of those people could elect not to be on there and another citizen would be drawn to replace them.
If you don't select them at the beginning of the year for 9 citizens, then it must be those
Right.
county officials.
But I think
And
if you
if-
read in there, you'll find that any of those county officials have the ability to withdraw
Yes, but not be replaced.
and be replaced
Yes.
by a citizen.
So that you
That's
have 9
the way that I read it.
Right.
We're not here to, that's really not on the agenda to debate how those people are picked.
What we're doing is recommending that we go with what the Texas Legislative Code says.
Correct.
Thank
This
you
is-
for your information.
Correct. This is public comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And this doesn't affect.
It does not
Right.
affect the decision that was made.
Right.
I understand that.
Another thing that goes along with this, but probably not up for discussion except to make it in thing. Whenever we do the salary, that's the salary, that's the base, that should be the base salary. Now, I'm sorry, if that should be the base salary, what they normally get if they didn't have any additional training other than holding office. Anything additional should be handled separately of that, because that way the positions can be equal. One position takes something that's a value here and another takes it something that's a value there. Those should be assessed separately. It should be based on the base rate. The salary agreements should be raising the base rate, not any supplements. It's up to the legislature, however they have it set up. Well, I agree. I agree with you, but I understand that the salary is the base rate. Everything else are stipulations and can be taken away or whatever if they don't keep registration or whatever or attend the conferences. So I think I would suggest that we look to see if we're talking about base rate here. Because it makes a lot of difference, especially in larger counties. But in this county, you know, you got two different constables going two different ways. And taking these constables out of the picture because everybody's different. I'm talking about, you know, what is the base rate for, well, for a county clerk, if she goes and takes additional non-required training or required training in other areas, that she doesn't get an additional up for that because that's handled separate from the base rate.
I think you're way off.
I think we're off
Yeah,
the agenda
we're off.
topic.
Well, we're
We're off
outside the
agenda
agenda.
topic.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you.
just looking for a clarification. Are we talking about base rate or total?
Salary.
The code says salary or personal expenses.
we're
So
talking
that's what
base
we'll
rate.
leave it,
Okay.
the way the legislature wrote it.
Thank you, commissioners.
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Hi, passes. Item number 20. Y'all want to take a break? Anybody got to go to the restroom? Okay. Item number 20.
I move to approve transferring salary funds from county attorney's office to the county judge's office to fund the governmental affairs position that will provide legal support to Commissioner Court and the county auditor's office to fund the contract procurement special position in the 2025 budget.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. And this opens it up for discussion. And I will start. So we got a lot of things going on in Aransas County right now. We've got, you know, a few lawsuits. We're being sued. We're suing. We've got to move. We've got a new construction. We've got a lot of moving parts right now. And with this move, I know everybody's, I know my stress levels over the top. I know everybody's stress level over the top because they let me know. But not just the elected officials, but the department heads. I mean, Renee, I don't know how you're still awake right now, all the work you're doing, but this right here, I really want us to just work together, and I hope it's reciprocal between the different departments. And the support that I'm getting from the county attorney's office, is it perfect? It's good, I think. I think it's really good. I think Adele's really smart. I don't want to make that move. I think because of everything that's going on, that position needs to stay in the county attorney's office. As far as the contract specialist, I do support moving that from the county attorney's office, either under my department and non-departmental or the county auditors, either or. It doesn't change. I just want it out of the county attorney's office. And maybe next year there is a position of a purchasing agent that works for the county judge and the 3 district judges. And I hope to make that change. I tried to make it this year. I was too late. But Amanda, you got some things to say?
Well, I would like to answer any questions. As you all know, the last few months have been very hectic and stressful. There have been a lot of people from a lot of departments that have come to yell at people in our office due to their, I would say, high stress. We have been juggling a lot of things with the move, leases, extensions, the new courthouse issues, the old Harvey issues. So things have not been moving perfectly, but I do not think the answer is to remove staff. The answer is to provide us with the things that need to be reviewed in time for us to review them. The items that were on the agenda for today, most of them did not come to our office until they were posted with this agenda. That's not a reasonable amount of time for us to do our job. It's just not. We can't review all of these documents and get them, if anything needs to be fixed between 3 p.m. Thursday and 9 a.m. Friday. That's not reasonable. And I know a lot of people in other departments see how hard that we are working and I probably think, I don't want to give them something else to do, but it is our job. And we are here to protect the county from liability. And Adele has been working very hard. I've been working to the best of my ability. I was sick for a whole week in August, so I did not pull my weight during that week. But still, she saved the county thousands of dollars just on these leases. And she saved us a lot of liability on having to pay to fix air conditioners, to maintain the buildings in our leases, to not pay taxes to ourselves, like we've been doing in this building that we're in right now. So to fault her and say that she hasn't been doing her job, that's not fair.
No one has said that. I will let you, after you finish, I'd like to say something.
Okay, because people have been working very hard. There is a lot to do. And with every new thing, there's more to do. We are just asking that all of these things be provided to us in time for us to do them for you. Because we all want to do a good job. We don't want to show up and say, all these things have all these problems, we can't do them today. We want to have them in time to do them, so when we show up to Commissioner's Court, we can say, yeah, there were some problems, but they're all fixed now, so we're good to go. No one in my office gets paid. Well, none of my attorneys get paid by the hour or by the page. They don't get comp time. They don't get overtime. So when they're working 12-hour days to get things done, it's because they know it needs to get done. And it's for the benefit of Aransas County. And whenever we're telling people you shouldn't do that because it's going to create some sort of liability, we are using our bar cards as a shield to protect you and the county. If we sit back and say, do whatever you want, it's not our problem. That's not us doing our job. That's not us looking out for the best interests of Aransas County. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
If I may, Judge, I'd like to say
Yes, Commissioner.
three things. Number one, you mentioned people coming into your office in an unprofessional manner. I think it's important also, I've only been privy to one, well, actually a couple of emails from the county attorney's office. I think it's also important that that the county attorney's people don't come across in a threatening manner on their emails. And as an authority, every one of us in this room that work for the county are public servants. And we have to keep that in mind. And again, like you said, we're all working the same goal. And when someone starts saying people need to be brought before the court and different things like that, and not knowing the whole situation, I think that's very unprofessional of an attorney. The other thing is, when it comes to working so many hours on a salary, have you been in private corporate world, maybe without being an attorney? Because if you go into the public world, you go down this street, all these small businesses, you tell an owner, oh, I'm having to work I'm having to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I personally know what that feels like working for a corporation, being on a salary. But you know what? That was my choice. I could work for them or I couldn't, but it was required to get my job done. And people up and down the street have these small businesses. They have to do the same thing. So to say, well, I should only be working 40 hours. I don't feel sorry for people. I mean, that's a choice. If you cannot do that, if you don't want to do that, you have a choice.
You understand there are employment laws.
So you have a choice. People have a choice. The third thing, I'd be willing to amend this, but if the court agrees to leave the attorney's position as it is, but I do think the procurement specialist position needs to go to the county auditor's office.
Okay.
And reason being, I think it's a way of cross-check, cross-balance, making things work. We're having, making sure everybody's doing everything from both sides. Because again, it's been brought up, you said y'all were kind of to make sure everything goes right. Well, if you have both people in your offices, how do we know everything's going right also? And the other thing is, when employees start telling people that if they don't get their way in a job, that they are going to quit, you know what? They don't have a commitment to their job to start with. And if they feel that way, so be it. But I think it's important that we do start working together, because I think you're right. There's people who come, we're not working together. The county doesn't work together. We're supposed to work for public good. But too many times elected officials start taking care of their department, caring about their department, and they forget that you are here, every one of us here as a public servant, they're employees. And I'm not just singling you out, okay? But we're all here. I agree with you 100% on that. We're all here for what's best for the public, not what's best for me, not what's best for departments. And I do think wholeheartedly that I will amend my motion for the procurement specialist position if the members of the court thinks that we should leave the county attorney's position as it is.
Then I'd like to speak, please.
Okay.
I have been the recipient of several, maybe not several, some very hostile communiques from the county attorney's office, which I felt were unwarranted, but I have tried to maintain a pleasant working relationship. I'm not sure who's gone into the county attorney's office and been ugly to the staff there. I know that the people who work in the front office are very friendly and they're always very respectful, and I enjoy going in and just not spending a lot of time chattering with them, but if I'm there for business, to at least be courteous and greet them. I've never yelled at anybody
I'm not
in your
accusing
office.
you.
I'm not saying you did.
Yeah.
I'm just, you throw that out. I just want to have something to respond. I know that we have been told as the commissioners by your office that some of the things that in the past your office has given us a green light on, all of a sudden you're giving us a red light. And when we've inquired, what is the reason? How did that change? Just for some more information. Not saying that your office was wrong, just saying, okay, if it was good a year or two ago, what's changed that it's not good now? Rather than getting a direct response, I received like a mini tutorial in law and no response as to why something that had been green lighted was now red lighted. We have had other, I would say subtle and maybe not so subtle threats made to us as commissioners by the county attorney's office, which I do not feel are professional. And I think we need to have an attorney that we can depend on, that if we ask them for information, we're not demanding, we're not telling them to tell us this because we want to do it. So we just want you to tell us yes, but we're asking for an honest to God legal opinion, that we have an expectation and a right to get that information in a timely fashion. Now, I would say that this last week and this last agenda were nightmares. I didn't know you were sick, but I know that the judge's office has been pretty much unstaffed other than the judge being there. And hopefully we can get that turned around this week. But there have been other agendas and other agenda items that have been given to your office and not received back in a timely fashion. And I do believe that you told this court a few months ago that if we could get it to you 3 days ahead of time, you get it back in time. Now, that did not happen on this agenda for us either. I didn't know what was on this agenda packet until I picked it up on Friday, I guess, was when it was done. But taking personalities out of this, these are both good recommendations, that we would have a governmental affairs position that would provide legal support to the court. Other counties have that. It's not an illegal thing. And to have the contract procurement position go back to the auditor's office. And I know that you stated, well, it never was in the auditor's office. It was in the auditor's office and then it was switched over, and we're saying to switch it back. It won't be under the judge, it won't be under the commissioners, it'll be under the auditor who's under the district judges, that gives us the level of separation the checks and balances that Commissioner Chivnik was discussing. So I would like to have a vote on the agenda item as it was presented.
I would like to respond, please, if I can.
You can, I think Commissioner Cheney had something.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to keep in mind that we're still post-disaster. I mean, we really are. A lot of the stuff that we had today, the 53 million or whatever, wouldn't have been on the agenda. We wouldn't have had to review it. We just need to get back to running the business as a business. If we have legal questions, we need to be able to go to the attorney, whether it's government affairs or the elected attorney. But the procurement stuff, that definitely needs to be changed. It needs to be changed. And I don't know that it needs to be changed necessarily right now or at the end of the budget year or when. But we've got to remember that a lot of the stuff that we have on the agenda is going to go away. You know, whenever we get into the new courthouse, assuming we ever do, but whenever we get into the new courthouse, you know, a lot of the things, the 30-day extension things, we're still going to always have some of that, but not to the extent that we have now. I mean, we went a long time. I've been on the court 16 years, and it wasn't up until Harvey hit that we had this much on the agenda of contract extensions and that sort of thing. Those need to be looked at by, in my opinion, the county attorney.
Thank you.
The procurement has no business being in the county attorney's office. So I'm kind of mixed on it. I've not had a bad experience with the county attorney's office. I've had a bad experience with an individual with the attorney's office, but that was before you. You know, I don't have the burden that the judge has. I don't have the burden that some of the commissioners take upon themselves to be good commissioners. I don't deal with y'all that much because most of my stuff's just cut and dried. But I do think that we need to ferret out the procurement officer's position for two reasons, to the county treasurer or to the county auditor, because of the fact of what Commissioner Russo said. It gives us a checks and balances because the county auditor reports directly to the 3 district judges, not to Judge Garza. And so that by attainment would allow the procurement officer, if we have anything to do with the finances that are the public's money, not our money, but the public's money, we at least have a John Desai looking that way. So I'm real torn on this. I agree with Commissioner Dubnik in that it's gotten pretty harried, you know, before, but I think we're hopefully getting close to the end, maybe another 5 or 6 terms or something like that. But I really think that this is really talking about 2 different issues. One is government affairs officer, and that needs to be looked at. And I think that Judge Garza is up to his neck in alligators. And I think he needs to be given any assistance that he can at any time. And I also have for a long time thought maybe we are a little too early on our setting of the agenda before the meeting. I don't know if that's set by law or anything, but you know, sometimes I can't get up here on Friday. If it wasn't for internet, you know, a lot of times I wouldn't even know what the agenda was, because sometimes I just can't get up here on Friday. It's too short a time frame.
Right. We do have to post it within 72 hours. So that's why.
Well, you have to post it in 72 hours, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the items can't be discussed, you know, or can't be brought to the table earlier. I mean, I don't think we need necessarily have a workshop on Monday before on Friday before the next Monday's meeting. But I'm just saying that we're in a time where we're just really covered up with a lot of things that we won't have to be covered up with in a year or 2.
Well, I certainly hope you're correct on that one, because
Well,
we've
me
been
too.
very busy the last year plus. Anyone else have any questions or?
I'd like to call the question, please.
I would like to respond.
I was gonna let her respond. And Commissioner, do you have anything?
Yeah. One of the bigger problems that I have a lot of times when we have an item come up is sometimes the attorney thinks we should do it another way, not because it's not legal, but it's
we get voiced an opinion like it's just their opinion that it should be done a different way, not because it's illegal. That's an uncomfortable deal to me. If we've decided we want to go this way, hey, if something's not legal, tell us how to legally do it. But don't be debating us on that we should do something different.
Okay.
That's kind of my, something I think regularly happens.
Thank you.
Okay. I do want to say that sometimes I get asked complicated legal questions, like the question that you asked me. And so, yes, you're going to get a complicated legal answer because a lot of the times in the law, the answer is not black and white or yes or no. So yes, it did feel like I was giving you an essay answer on a bar exam because the answer wasn't always yes or always no. There are a lot of times that sometimes we can do it one way and there are sometimes we need to answer your question a different way. So I'm sorry I could not give you a distinct yes or no answer to the question that you had asked me. And I do feel like as a younger female, I do have to sometimes remind people that they are not my boss. Sometimes they try to tell me what I need to do and when I need to do it. And sometimes I get that from commissioners or judges. And maybe I need to be more polite about that. But I do have to remind people that I am an elected official, just like all of you are elected officials. And I do not set deadlines for you and tell you when you need to do things. And I do not tell you that you have to do something. All I can do is recommend to you what you should and should not do. And I would hope that you would do the same for me.
Do have one question, if I may.
Sure.
Sheriff's Office. Will the county attorney's office retain a civil attorney, or will your governmental affairs attorney take care of the issues that come up in my office as well?
I don't know if that's been determined yet. Right now, we're just talking about moving a salary.
Talking about moving a position, and to Jack Cheney's comment, a lot of things, you're loaded right now with a lot of issues that we think are going to clear up, and I've kept waiting on that, but I've got some matters that I've waited for the county attorney's office as well, but because of the issues before the court that you're dealing with the lawsuits, I consider that pretty important. But I'm not sure that I question whether one attorney can handle all of this, and that's the concern I've got. Is it moving it? I'm just wanting to know, where do I go for MOUs and contracts that I have and questions that come up civilly, not about law, but things, agreements that we have with other counties and with other agencies within this county.
Thank you.
Can we call the
That's,
question?
my understanding is that would be part of the government affairs position, right? They would be taking care of the MOUs and civil contracts agreements. And that would be, and I understand, you don't, your job is not easy. And you get attorneys in there, like you said, you can find 3 opinions all contradicting each other maybe. And it's hard to believe you get 3, but some might be reading this, read that. But the thing is, as a commissioner's court and as different departments are, it's been drilled into me, you've got internal and external customers. And when we dealt in my previous job with attorneys, we needed a clear answer. Their job is to decipher this, that, this, and tell us, can we do this? Is this legal? And that's the type of answers we need, succinct answers, to do their jobs. I say we, the commissioner's court and the departments, you need clear answers, and that's the attorney's job.
Yes.
And we all work together. You're right. We should all work together because we're all here for the good of the county, for the good of the citizens, and for the good of the future of our county. And we have to, what we do internally has a end effect on what happens in the county and to our citizens. And that's why, when the question is asked, it's like, give me a yes or no. I don't care. And I'm saying this for other people. I don't care if it's this statute, that statute, this statute. What can we do the most prudent, the most efficient way. And that's what really the court should receive from the counselor's office, from the county attorney's office, I think. And that's, that's just my opinion.
Okay, and just so that you know, since some of you probably don't, my office receives grant funds from Senate Bill 22. And part of that agreement is that the budget will not be decreased once we are receiving Senate Bill 22. So if you, and my civil attorney position does receive funds for that position. So we could be in the position that we have to repay those funds, all or in part, or that we would not receive those funds in the future if that position is defunded.
Why does your civil attorney position receive funds from the from the Senate Bill 22?
Because she works in part on, number one, she's deputized as a prosecutor in my office, as all of my attorneys are, and she has worked on cases that will qualify for those Senate bill funds.
So she's not 100% dedicated to Commissioners Court's needs.
No, if you read her job description, she is not dedicated to the Commissioner's Court. She also has to represent all of the elected officials, work on asset forfeiture cases. She has a lot of duties as are laid out in her job description.
Could that governmental affairs position represent other elected officials? That'd have to be a.
I have not seen a job description for a governmental affairs position, but the job description for the attorney in my office has a lot of duties.
Well, I understand that also that this is about moving funds right now, because we would have to maybe develop some of these positions. And I do understand also there's a Attorney General's opinion we're waiting on.
Correct.
And I think we could, if that position, if we get an answer between now and the time we set the budget, we could go have could we do a budget amendment or anything? I've moved after this is set.
Once we give the elected officials their budget, we can't touch it.
Okay.
And we're gonna pass the budget here
Today.
today.
Okay.
Yeah.
As an elected official, I would like to speak to this. I've had probably in my year and a half plus as a county clerk, probably 20 different contract things come up. A lot of, I get records requests probably in the neighborhood of 10 a week. Some of those are large, some of those require opinions from an attorney. I have never had one issue out of probably the 50 or 60 requests I've had from the county attorney's office for support and understanding. Never.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you.
They have always been very respectful, timely. But I also don't have an expectation of a 3-day turnaround.
That the deal with the this agenda, that rests on my shoulders. I did send it out late Thursday.
Well, I don't have any expectation to get the agenda sooner, but the departments and other heads who are submitting items for the agenda know what those items are going to be in advance.
Right.
And the expectation would be that everyone together who has items that need to be reviewed before the agenda should know what those items are going to be and should be able to provide those to people who need to review them, whether it be our office or another department, whatever department they're working with, so that they can be reviewed before they need to go on the agenda, whether that be a week ahead, 2 weeks ahead, whenever it is, they have it on their calendar that they know they're going to need to get it on the agenda.
I'll be honest, Monday, the phone rang. I was like, what do you do? How do you answer the phone? But yeah.
All right.
All right. Anything else?
If we vote on this and vote it down as listed, we cannot go back and vote for an amended.
You can go back and vote on an amended one if you want to.
You can make a sub
Not
motion.
today.
Make a separate motion.
Oh,
What was that comment?
I personally,
Question's already been called.
But there were several mentions of amending it with no vote on the amendment. So are we voting on the original?
Yes.
Well, my question is, we vote on the original, it's turned down. Can we go back and vote on the amended agenda?
We've done it in the past.
We can. Right, today?
Correct.
Okay. Question?
Well, one of the things about the way it's written is it's two questions.
Right.
One is the
Right.
the
Right.
government affairs and the other is the procurement. That-
All just like it is.
Yeah, and I know what I'm.
I
gonna
don't,
vote.
or if
Okay.
someone prefers
She
to.
called the question.
Yep, she's calling
Roll
for your
call.
vote.
Okay.
Commissioner Cheney,
Nay.
Commissioner Casterline,
Nay.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Nay,
Now,
that
can we
doesn't
go back?
pass, but would you like, we could have that separate motion, Amanda? That's what you said?
You wanted to amend it, if someone wanted to amend it.
I would like to make a motion, or do I need to say I need to amend my motion?
Correct.
I need to amend my motion to approve transfer and salary funds from the county attorney's office, to the county auditor's office to fund the contract procurement specialist position in the 2025 budget.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Anybody want to discuss?
Oh, did y'all want to?
I don't know.
I just wanted to say that no
Is there a
one's
second to
actually.
your motion?
Jack
Seconded. I just want to say that no one's brought to my attention any issues that needed to be fixed or corrected or improved with this position or its communication between any departments. So if anything could be improved or changed, I would have been happy to make sure that that happened.
Well, maybe going forward, you can work on that and we'll let you know. How is that?
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Jack voted.
Commissioner Cheney,
What are we voting on for the procurement position now?
Right.
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes unanimous 5-0. Item number 21.
I move to approve adopting the 2025 budget. This budget will raise more total property taxes than last year's budget in an amount of $1,688,569, which is a 9.80 increase from last year's budget. The property tax revenue to be raised from new property added to the tax rolls this year is $608,797.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. It's Jackie.
We've had several workshops as well as two public hearings on it. The budget is a good solid budget. It's expenditures of $25,310,018. We do anticipate going into the reserves by $444,671.
And what are our current reserves?
Right now, we're anticipating the end of 24 to be $6.2 million, and we would end up with 5.8
Okay.
at the end of
So we
25.
still have a healthy reserve.
Yes, sir.
And Jackie, will you need to repost the salaries after the grievance?
They already did.
No, sir, we already reposted those.
Well, this is it. Too late to make changes?
The only thing we will do is change the salary from the county attorneys for the procurement, the special contract and procurement specialist to the auditor's office. It will not change the dollars, the final numbers at all. They're both in the general fund, and it'll just be a matter of us switching those.
All right, any other questions, comments, changes?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes. Item number 22.
Move to approve 2025 salaries, expenses, and other allowances of elected officials.
I'll second that. Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dubnik,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 23.
Move to approve the adoption of Resolution R 21-2024, a resolution for the 2024 tax roll, levy, and rate. The total tax rate to be levied for the County of Aransas for tax year 2024 be and is hereby set at 0.37000 per $100 valuation with an assessment rate of 100% to be assessed and collected by the tax assessor collector for Aransas County as follows. Anna Marshall. And section A is 0.284884 cents per $100 valuation for the purpose of the county ad valorem maintenance and operations fund. B is 0.037548 per $100 valuation for the purpose of the county ad valorem interest and sinking fund. Part C is 0.041450 per $100 valuation for the purpose of the county farm to market flood control maintenance and operations, with the resulting levy being split on percentage basis of 83% of the designated amount for the county's road and bridge maintenance and operations fund and 17% designated for flood control maintenance and operations fund. And part D is 0.006118 per $100 valuation for the purpose of the county farm to market flood control, flood only interest and sinking fund.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Anna, did you want to say anything? Sounds good to you?
Good morning. It's really nothing for me to say because this is the rates that's going to fund your 2025 budget.
They just call it the 24 tax rate to confuse
Correct.
people.
It is my 24 tax rate. We work a year behind your budget. So this will be for the 2024 taxes. And as soon as we get everybody levied, all the entities, I'll be working on the bills for the next couple weeks and hopefully get those in the mail at the beginning of October.
Thanks.
I have before me the resolution. Does it have to be in the fancy paper?
I don't require it in fancy paper.
I know Tracy usually put it on the fancy paper for me.
All right, I'll wait for her and we'll sign it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't require it to be on the fancy paper, but that's just the way it's always been.
But if she's not back for a few days, can you wait for it as long as we passed it, or do you have to have that?
No, no, I don't, because I don't have all the entities
Okay.
yet, so I won't be starting levy until next week. So that will be fine.
Perfect. Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dubnik,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 24.
I move to approve adopting the 2024 tax roll and levy.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dubnik,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 25.
I move to approve ratify the property tax increase reflected in the 2025 budget.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dubnik,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 26.
I move to approve designation of courtrooms. Number 1, designated address 2718 Highway 35 North, Rockport, Texas 78382, which is within the city limits of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, as an auxiliary courtroom for county and district courts of Aransas County until further notice. Number 2, designated address 2740 Highway 35 North, Rockport, Texas 78382, which is within the city limits of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, as an auxiliary courtroom for the county and district courts of Aransas County until further notice. Item number 3, designated address 701 East Mimosa Street, Rockport, Texas, 78382, which is within the city limits of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, as an auxiliary courtroom for the county and district courts of Aransas County until further notice. Item number 4, designate address 402 East Laurel Street, Rockport, Texas, 78382, which is within the city limits of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, as an auxiliary courtroom for the county and district courts of Aransas County until further notice. Designate address 714 East Concho Street, Rockport, Texas, 78382, which is within the city limits of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, as an auxiliary courtroom for the county and district courts of Aransas County until further notice.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Thank you, Amanda, for taking the initiative, because, yeah, appreciate it.
Does anyone have any questions or anything? We just need to name them all as courtrooms so that we can use them as courts.
Is that old, the old Castaways building?
Not until we have a lease, and
Okay.
then we will, once we have a lease approved by the commissioners, then we can designate that.
All right.
So 701 East Mimosa is the library, right?
Yes,
Okay, and the other two are in this shopping center.
correct.
402 is where JP1 moved over there on
JP2,
JP2, okay.
yes.
And then 714 East Concho,
That is.
The sheriff's office.
is that going to be the EOC?
Correct, right, for very small criminal dockets, the sheriff is going to allow us to use his room.
Okay, and then when people get a jury summons, will it say on there where they're going to go so they'll know? I'm
Yes,
just
it'll give them an
anticipating
actual address of where to go.
questions. Okay. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 27.
Move to approve the July 2024 auditor's monthly report.
Second?
I'll be happy to answer any questions if anyone has anything. Right now, we're looking pretty good as far as budget, where expenditures are under and revenues are a little over.
It's a good way to have it.
Yeah.
Give me a couple months. You're all-
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 28.
I move to approve the budget line item.
Go ahead.
Oh, I move to approve the budget line items.
Second.
We have none at this time.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 29.
I move to approve accounts payable and payroll liabilities.
Second.
All payroll liabilities and accounts payable are, excuse me, normal. I would like to point out some of our capital stuff. In 430, which is our capital improvements line, we have a check for Brizzo Construction, who is doing the Aransas County Southeast drainage. There's two pay apps that total $1,047,525.45. The grant connection, which is Bayshore Drive, is $3,720.83.
Say that amount again, please.
$3,720.83. Orion Construction, the contractors for the same project, is $44,396.12. In 431, which is our ARPA funds, our American Rescue Plan grant works, for the generator for some of the projects that they're doing on that is $13,440. Tyler Technologies for the jury software is $653.48. And T. Baker Smith which is the detention water tank. We have an invoice for $800. In 435, under the downtown anchor, we have Teal Construction of $263,443.39.
Was that their July?
That, yes, ma'am, I
payroll?
believe that was their July pay app.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And it was heavily scrutinized.
Yes, it was. We originally got a much higher and it was reduced.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, passes 5-0. All right, my favorite. Section number 12, reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken.
No, I want to take a moment and thank Road and Bridge and David Morgan specifically in working with some citizens that I had that were concerned about their driveways and also working with TxDOT on the repair of the cuts, or the replacement of the asphalt and stuff in the cuts. And 1069, that was actually TxDOT, but they worked very closely with the folks that were complaining about driving over the bumps and the rocks and everything. They got on that. I really appreciate it. They've done you haven't been down in my precinct, and I'm sure you have, but if you haven't been down there, look at all the stuff in the ditches and everything. David's had to answer a lot of questions, David Reed and David Morgan both. But they've done a really good job, and I wanted to thank them to this point that we've had several good rains now, and I've had virtually no complaints.
You realize I'm gonna have to bill you for that water you sent over to my precinct.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I expect to get a fee out of that anyway.
All right. Anything else? All right, so we'll move on to section number 13, reports about items of community interest. No action will be taken. Oh, morning now.
Yes, hello, Judge Commissioners. I just wanted to bring you up to speed on Bay Shore. So Bay Shore did get permission to go ahead and do the watering. The POA out there was able to put in a permanent irrigation system that was damaged during Tropical Storm Alberto. So the seeding has been done. We have to wait 60 days. 80% of the seeding has to survive in order for the project to be closed out. So as long as we don't have any hurricanes or anything happening to destroy that area, we should be good to close out in November.
So have they put in the seed already, or they're getting ready to put that
They
in?
put in the seed last week.
Okay.
And the POA put in their irrigation system, so they have
We've
water.
had some rain.
And we've had some rain,
Yeah.
so we're good.
Great.
Thank you, Mike. You got anything? All right. Item number, or section number 14, closed session. Ladies? Nothing to pass? All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Commissioner
Commissioner
Castelline?
Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, passes 5-0. Thank you all very much.
Now that we're out